In 1834, the Leeds and Selby Railway opened, running east to west from a terminus station in Marsh Lane, Leeds, to a terminus at Selby. The line opened on the 22nd of September 1834 with only one track complete. A train from Leeds set off at 6 a.m. and arrived in Selby around 9 a.m. to a general celebration. When the general service started, the journey took about 65 minutes. The main stations were not completed until a few months after the line opened. The Selby terminus at a cost of £10,300, and both tracks of the line were completed by the 15th of December 1834. The basic design of the station was a large warehouse shed, 245 foot long by 96 foot wide, on a site of around 3 acres, with a wooden truss roof of 3 spans supported via iron brackets on a 19.5-foot cast iron column, which were hollow and acted as drain pipes to collect rainwater then stored in underground tanks. Station offices and other buildings were built adjoining the station, and the train shed had 6 lines of track, 4 for freight and 2 for passengers. Lines for coal and lime were separate outside of the shed to the east, the offices at the northwest corner. The line of rails continued through the station to a wharf on the River Ouse. Journeys to Hull were completed by packet boat from Selby. After the construction of the new station in 1840, with connections on the Hull to Selby Railway, Old Station became a goods station. The rail links to the old station were removed in the 1980s, and as of 2009 the station is using as a warehouse by Viking Shipping Services. In 1840, the Hull and Selby Railway was opened. To cross the River Ouse, a bascule lifting bridge was installed northwest of the old station. At that time, ships had priority over railway traffic. The Hull and Selby and Leeds and Selby Railways connected end on at Selby, west of the old station. The Leeds and Selby line diverged from its old terminus path at a junction near the crossing of Park Street. The line of the railway ran a short distance west and parallel to the track of the original station. A new through station was built and the old station became a goods station. In 1871, the NER opened 2 new sections of track from Shaftholme Junction, 4 miles north of Doncaster, to Selby Old West Junction, and from Barley Junction across the Ouse from Selby to Chalmers Wine Junction for Dringhouses, York. These formed the new routes for the East Coast Main Line. A new station was then constructed between 1870 and 1873, built by Thomas Neilson to the design of Thomas Prosser's office in the NER. In 1891, a new spring bridge was built downstream east of the original over the River Ouse. The priority of river traffic over rail traffic was reversed on completion of the new bridge. Crossings by rail were more than 10 minutes more numerous than the rail craft. As a consequence of the shift in the path of the railway, the old station was rebuilt. The down west platforms were retained and modified, while the up platforms were moved eastwards, reusing and extending Prosser's platform roof. The architects of the modelling and extension were NER's William Bell. In addition to the main lines to Leeds and east to Hull and north and south to York and Doncaster, the rail system at Selby was the location for a number of junctions to other lines and other facilities. A branch line from Hull line near Barley and Market Weighton opened in 1848. The line ran from Cliff Junction east of the River Ouse south to Barlby, around a mile east of Selby. The Carwood, Wistow and Selby Light Railway was opened in 1898, linking the Leeds and Selby Railway to the village of Carwood. Until 1904, the line had a separate station, Brayton Gates, 1 mile west of Selby. The line was predominantly used for agricultural traffic, but also carried passengers until 1930, its final closure taking place in 1960. The Selby and Goole line opened in 1910, ran via the villages of Barlow, Drax and Rawcliffe to Goole. The line closed in 1964 as a result of the Beeching Report. A short section of the line was used to access a ballast tip near Barlow until 1983. In the mid-20th century, the Loop line was converted into a triangle junction by the addition of a short chord between the Selby and Doncaster and Leeds and Selby lines. In 1983, the Selby diversion of the East Coast Main Line was opened, avoiding the area around Selby due to the possible subsidence of the drift mining works at Selby Coalfield. As a result, Selby ceased to be a through route for the East Coast Main Line. The 1871 line from Selby to York was closed on the 24th of May 1983. and in 1989 was converted into a cycle track, which now forms part of Route 65 of the National Cycle Network. The line south to Templehurst Junction was retained and is in regular use for both passengers and freight traffic, and also serves as a diversionary route for Doncaster to Hull services if the line via Goole is closed for any reason. So to get things kicked off here at Selby, we see the departure of 158758, working the 1627 Northern service from Halifax through to Hull. Arriving some 7 minutes late is 155343 with the 1624 Northern service from Bridlington through to York. Next to depart from the station is 185133 and 185137 with the 1649 Transpennine Express service from Manchester Piccadilly through to Hull. Arriving next out of the darkness is 185121 and 185129 with the delayed 1635 Transpennine Express service from Hull through to Manchester Victoria, currently running 20 minutes late. Next up to arrive at the station is 155345, working the 1715 Northern service from York through to Bridlington. Arriving next into the station 34 minutes late is 158752, working the 1648 Northern service from Hull through to Halifax, which today terminated at Bradford Interchange due to a level crossing failure. Arriving next into the station some 6 minutes late is 155341, working the 1727 Northern service from Bridlington through to York. And here comes our train in the form of 158755. Running 5 minutes late with the 1728 Northern service from Halifax through to Hull. This today started at Bradford Interchange due to a level crossing failure. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed what you saw, click on the 2 videos here at the end screen. Helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you are new and got this far. And we'll see you all in the next video, folks, wherever that may take us. We'll see you then, folks.